When news broke that bandits had attacked Doma community in Faskari local government area of Katsina state, many people assumed it was just another violent incident in the northwest. But this one is different. According to reports, the attackers stormed the community in large numbers. They fired gunshots at civilians, they set homes and vehicles on fire. Residents fled again. As of the time of reporting, there were fears of casualties, though exact numbers were still unconfirmed. That alone tells us how chaotic the situation was. When numbers are unclear, it usually means people are running, hiding, or trying to survive. What makes this attack especially disturbing is not just the violence itself, it is the timing. This attack happened after a peace deal had already been reached between local authorities and armed groups operating in the area. And that changes everything. Months earlier, Faskari local government area was presented as a rare example of progress. Local stakeholders had reportedly reached a peace and surrender agreement with bandit leaders. The message to community was simple: hostilities would stop and displaced residents could begin returning home. In September of 2025, that hope seemed justified. A notorious bandits commander, Isia Akwashi Garwa, released 28 abducted persons as part of the peace process. Those freed were residents of Mairua, Kanenhaki, and Yardabaru communities. Local authorities praised the developments. Community leaders welcomed it. Some described it as a turning point. For people who had spent years sleeping in fear or living as displaced persons, this deal meant one thing: normal life could resume. But Doma has now been attacked, and once violence returns after a peace deal, confidence collapses very quickly. As the attacks unfolded, a Katsina-based security expert, Katsina, issued a public warning. He warned that the assault was ongoing and said civilians were in grave danger.
As the attack unfolded, a Katsina-based security expert, Katsina, issued a public warning. He confirmed that the assault was ongoing and said civilians were in grave danger. His message was direct. Security forces needed to be urgently deployed to Doma and surrounding communities to stop the violence and prevent further loss of lives and property. That warning matters because it suggests that at the time of the attack, security presence was either weak or absent. This raises a serious issue. If a peace deal was in place, why were civilians still exposed? Why were homes and vehicles burned without immediate intervention? These agreements do not protect people by themselves. Only enforcement does. Only presence does. Without that, deals become paper promises. Faskari local government area is not new to bandit violence. For years, it has been one of the worst hit areas in Katsina state, facing repeated attacks, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and mass displacement. Entire communities have been emptied before. This is why failure or apparent failure of a peace deal here is so dangerous, because it raises uncomfortable questions Nigerians have heard many times. Who exactly signs these agreements? Are all armed groups involved, or just one faction? What happens when other groups ignore the deal? And who is responsible for enforcing compliance? When one commander releases abductees, it may look like progress, but if other armed groups remain active, civilians are left exposed. Even worse, peace deals can sometimes create false confidence, encouraging people to return home before real security is in place. When that confidence is shattered, the consequences are devastating. The attack on Doma is not just another headline from Katsina, it is a warning that peace processes without firm control can backfire, a warning that negotiations without enforcement can leave civilians unprotected, and a warning that insecurity in Katsina state is far from being resolved. For residents of Doma, the fear is back after being told peace had returned. For the wider public, the questions remain simple but urgent. What exactly do peace deals achieve if bandits can still return, burn homes and attack civilians? Until authorities answer that and backwards with real security on the ground, stories like this may continue to repeat themselves.